Welcome to Bond in 007, where I attempt to explain the plot of a James Bond movie in less than 7 minutes. It sounds much easier than it is, since the plot in a Bond film is secondary at best. The story is not the memorable part of any of the films, and honestly, for good reason. Today, let's wrap up the Dalton era, if two movies constitute an era, with 1989's License to Kill. This film is heavily inspired by the action movies of the time, which the 80s had no shortage of. As such, this one is a little divisive among Bond fans. It's certainly not a traditional movie for the franchise, but I happen to like the change, and I think it really informed the direction of the Brosnan movies that followed it. Cold open as James, Felix, and Sharkey are en route to Felix's wedding. Their car is stopped by the Coast Guard, who alert Leiter that a drug lord he's been chasing is in the area, and Felix and James board the chopper. The drug lord, Jake Fratelli, who in this movie is Franz Sanchez, sees the chopper coming and takes off into the jungle before reappearing piloting his escape plane. The American agents take chase in the helicopter, with James using the winch to first lower himself to and then take possession of the plane. Conveniently, they're right above Felix's wedding and parachute down to Felix's waiting bride, Terry from Three's Company, who in this film is Della Churchill. Title sequence with eponymous song by Gladys Knight. Notice that the title is license without an S. In British English, the noun license is spelled that way. The verb license is spelled the way we spell both of them. Sanchez is being held by Agent Killefer in DEA custody, facing over 100 charges and 900 years in prison. During transport, Killefer attacks the driver, sending the truck into the ocean, where waiting divers rescue the agent and Sanchez. As quickly as it began, the honeymoon is over for Felix and Della, with the Collector, who in this movie is Sanchez's goon Dario, knocking out Leiter. At a marine research station owned by Milton Crest, Sanchez gives Killefer $2 million that he used to bribe the agent for his escape, before the drug lord has Felix lowered into a shark tank. At the airport, Bond learns of Sanchez's escape and rushes to Leiter's house to find Della murdered and the office ransacked. And Felix is wrapped in plastic on the couch with his leg missing, but there's a fun note. In the hospital, the DEA tell Bond that Sanchez is now out of their jurisdiction, so James, along with Sharkey, decide to take matters into their own hands. Investigating the marinas, Bond comes across Crest Station and is immediately suspicious, as the facility is capable of housing sharks, although that is denied by Crest. That night, Sharkey shuttles James back to the station, where he finds drugs hidden inside the cache of maggots that are used as fish food. Bond is caught by the guards, but he disposes of them because of course he does, this one very hilariously going into an electric eel tank. Killefer gets the jump on James, directing him to the same trap door that sealed Felix's fate. Thanks to Sharkey the person and Shark the animal, it's Killefer who ends up getting killed. Noticing that his top agent hasn't come home yet, M meets with Bond at the Hemingway house in Key West. M orders Bond to drop this vendetta and get back to his mission in Istanbul. When James predictably refuses, M revokes his license to kill, effectively firing him from MI6. Bond escapes, being taken into custody by the other agents, becoming a rogue agent. Using a manta ray costume as cover, Bond makes his way onto Crest's ship, the Wave Crest. Inside Milton's cabin, he finds Sanchez's girlfriend Lupe before discovering that he's minus yet another friend. Crest uses his resources, like scuba robots, to smuggle drugs from Sanchez. Intercepting the drone, Bond stabs the watertight bags, ruining the cargo. When swarmed by scuba henchmen, Bond fires a harpoon gun into Sanchez's drug-running plane to be pulled out of the fray. The plane is returning to Sanchez with the $5 million that was exchanged for the drugs that are now poisoning the ocean. Bond commandeers the plane and the cash. James returns to Felix's office to find the name of anyone with information on the case, and comes across DEA informant Pam Bouvier, and attends a meeting she had scheduled with Leiter. Dario shows up, inciting a bar fight where a guy tries to stab James with a fish. Pam makes the small bar a literal hole in the wall, and the two escape. Bouvier agrees to fly Bond to Isthmus City, not Rio by the way, the capital of the also fictional Republic of Isthmus, the country out of which Sanchez operates. James deposits the $5 million he took from the plane into the Bank of Isthmus, simultaneously opening a line of credit at the casino, both of which are owned by Sanchez, knowing that will gain the criminal's attention. When Bond and Pam arrive at the casino, Sanchez's attention is on televangelist Joe Butcher, who plays Wayne Newton in Vegas Vacation. Butcher is a middleman for the cartel, communicating the price to customers via code on his TV program. Bond rolls high at the blackjack table, as he is wont to do, and quickly gains attention. In Sanchez's office, Bond poses as a hitman who is looking for work, claiming he caused the scene, hoping to be hired by Sanchez, who declines the offer, being suspicious of Bond. Returning to his hotel, Bond is told that his uncle is waiting for him in his room. This turns out to be Q, who has decided to use his vacation time to help James commit international crimes with his gadgets, including a camera that is also a gun when it recognizes Bond's palm print. After a meeting where Sanchez meets with his Asian constituents, including Shang Tsung, who in this movie is a Mr. Kwang, James attempts to use the camera gun to assassinate Sanchez, but he's stopped by a pair of ninjas. The ninjas, along with Kwang, are Hong Kong narcotics agents who have infiltrated Sanchez's operation and stopped Bond from ruining their years of work. Sanchez's men destroy Kwang's safe house after following the ninjas, and there are no survivors, save 007. Knowing that it fits the way he was found by Sanchez, he tells the drug lord that Kwang and his people were also after him for being a hitman, thus reinforcing his cover story. He also tells Sanchez that he used to be a British agent, but is now on his own, which is technically true. After gathering Q and Ms. Bouvier from the hotel, James makes a withdrawal from the bank, much to the dismay of its president. Disguised as the harbor pilot, Pam boards the Wave Crest and smashes it into the harbor, creating a distraction for her to open the bay doors for James to come aboard. The pair plant the money in the ship's decompression chamber to be found by Sanchez, who understandably believes Crest to be stealing from him, and as such, he gives the ship's owner some time to decompress. With a sudden vacancy in the organization, Sanchez welcomes Bond into the fold. Lupe is equally as welcoming. The next morning, Bond is taken to the base, which is disguised as Professor Butcher's religious compound. There it is revealed that the drugs are transported to Asia by dissolving them into gasoline and somehow magically reconstituting them. During a demonstration of the process, Bond is recognized by Dario. Unbeknownst to Bond, Pam is also on the island seducing the professor. What he does know is that he'll be outed by Dario, so he starts a fire in the lab but isn't able to escape in the confusion. Dangling helplessly from a conveyor belt above a grinder, James is saved by Pam, who shoots Dario, sending him into the machine. Sanchez escapes the burning base with 4 tankers of his drugs. Bouvier is able to drop James onto one of the tankers, which he clings to before taking control of it. During the course of the chase down the mountain, 3 of the tankers are destroyed, with Sanchez in the remaining one. Swinging a machete at James, Sanchez cuts the brakes of his last chance at drug dealership. The truck falls into a ravine, dousing the drug lord, and before he can land the killing blow, 007 uses a genuine Felix lighter to send Sanchez up in smoke. A recuperating Felix, who is now 3/4 of the man he used to be, tells James that M wants to reinstate him while he's attending a party at what is now Lupe's estate. Let me know if you liked this video, and let me know down in the comments what you think about License to Kill and Dalton's time as Bond just in general. And as always, subscribe for more Bond in 007.